Moves! Pokemon know them! Some Pokemon know lots of moves, others not so much. Some moves are known by lots of Pokemon, others not so much. There are 165 moves in Generation 1. I want to use them all, using the least number of Pokemon. Let's begin. I'll start the challenge once I've got access to Pokeballs, because I'm sorry Pikachu, but you don't know enough moves for this one. Clark the Rattata joins the team, and a rightfully upset Pikachu gets shoved in the box, never to be seen again. As we get our first two moves on the board in Tail Whip and Tackle, and catch our second Pokemon, Diana the Pidgey, I'll explain the overlay. First of all, it took bloody ages to create, and it's all 100% automated, so every unique move I use will increase the moves count, every unique Pokemon I catch will increase the Pokemon count, and on the left we'll see our current team and their current used moves out of how many moves they can learn in total. Diana helps us cross Gust off the list, and it's time for a new Pokemon, Bruce the Mankey. Bruce adds Leer and Scratch to our total, and we're ready to start leveling up for Brock. At level 5, Diana gets Sand Attack. Bruce then wastes all of his Scratch and Leer power points and then uses Struggle. And as Struggle adds to the list, we see all of our party's used move count increase, as Struggle is a move every Pokemon can use. At level 9, Bruce gets Low Kick, and we get our first glimpse of another type of move on our latest moves board. With a stab fighting move, we're able to break Brock, and we're given the TM for Bide. That's immediately taught to Pidgey, and our total move count is up to 9. Diana gets Quick Attack soon afterwards. Realising Diana isn't bird enough for us, Kendra the Spearow helps out, and we soon see Peck and Growl added to our list. We also take the amazing offer of only £500 for a special fish, and get Arthur the Magikarp on board. And with Arthur comes the move Splash. I've highlighted Splash in the overlay because it's a signature move, meaning only one Pokemon or evolution line can learn that move. As I was calculating the lowest number of Pokemon needed to complete this challenge, Pokemon with signature moves really sped up the process, as the run would be impossible without them. Also worth noting that Magikarp has a total move count of 29, which doesn't quite match his available moves of Splash, Tackle and Struggle, but the overlay knows what Pokemon can evolve into, and takes those move pools into account when displaying the numbers. We pick up Water Gun off the floor of Mount Moon, and Clark with his incredibly diverse learn set helps us out with that one. Hal the Paris is next, and those already thinking ahead will know why this slow mushroom made the cut. Mega Punch is another TM lying around, which quickly gets taught to our punchy boy Bruce. Hal gets to show off his Stun Spore, and we've escaped this Zubat-filled nightmare. Whirlwind is waiting for us outside the cave, allowing Kendra to blow away the competition. During our battle with the rival, Clark gets his first signature move, Hyper Fang, allowing us to get past Nugget Bridge and pick up our 7th member, Barry the Oddish. He's only giving us Absorb and Poison Powder at the moment, but I suspect we'll be dancing with joy later on. Just before Bill's house we get the TM for Seismic Toss, giving Bruce the ability to turn his enemies into a ball and throw them about. We then have a big team grind before Misty, and get some evolutions, Raticate, Fearow and Pidgeotto. But Pokemon count hasn't increased, as I'm only counting individual Pokemon on the team, not Pokedex count. Against Misty we show off some of our new additions, Bruce's Karate Chop, Barry's Sleep Powder, Kendra's Fury Attack and Hal's Leech Life. We teach the gifted Bubble Beam TM to our Super Rat, and use it to get past the Innocent Bystander, who gives us a stolen Dig TM for us to teach to Bruce. Shortly after, Bruce also gets access to Fury Swipes. On the SSN we get the moves Rest, Body Slam and Cut. We grab the Flash HM from Oak's Aid through Diglett's Cave. Finally I have a playthrough where I have enough Pokemon to actually qualify for it. Surge is no match for our Move Mad team, and we move on to catch a Magnemite named Billy. Billy helps us use the Thunder Wave TM from Cerulean, Thunderbolt from Surge, weirdly it has Teleport as a level up move, I never knew that, and also Flash, blinding our enemies and lighting our way through Rock Tunnel. Rock Tunnel is uneventful except for picking up Ollie the Onix. At the end of this video I'll go through the maths involved in coming up with this unique team of Pokemon needed for this challenge, so if you're interested in seeing why this signatureless rock snake is in the video, stick around. Once we're free from the cave we can catch a Kadabra west of Lavender Town. Zatanna the Kadabra is the only reason we're in Pokemon Yellow right now. The signature move Kinesis is impossible to get in Red or Blue, and an evolving Abra doesn't get access to it either. That's not to say the other Gen 1 games won't make an appearance in this video later. Pokemon Yellow is missing some important team members. Zatanna fires off a Kinesis, Confusion, Disable and Psybeam, and the poison types of Kanto tremble with fear. Kendra's wings are more than just for show, as Fly and Mirror Move get added, along with Billy's Thundershock and Sonic Boom. Ollie the Onix gets to add another 4 to the total with Rage, Screech, Bind and Rock Throw, and Clark the Raticate gets to use the most useless move in Generation 1, Focus Energy, quartering his critical hit chance instead of quadrupling it. We pick up Razor Wind in the Rocket Underground, a normal type move that sounds a lot cooler than it is. It's just a 2-turn low accuracy disappointment. After defeating Erica, we get Mega Drain, which Hal uses to suck the life out of a ghost before catching it and adding Raven the Ghastly as our 11th. Before the Pokemon Tower, we pop to Saffron to get Psychic from Mr. Psychic, and the Celadon Mart to get Counter from the guy leaning on the counter. Zatanna uses both to varying degrees of success against the attacking ghosts. Once Mr. Fuji is safe, we pull Raven out of the box and fill the board with some spooky ghost moves. Confuse Ray, Lick, and the signature move Nightshade. Before heading to Fuchsia, let's convert our money into coins and pick up Corey the Vulpix, bringing our total Pokemon to 12. I'm sure I won't forget to use her immediately. It's on to the worst part of the challenge now, the Safari Zone. We have a few targets in here. Thankfully we don't have to wait too long for Damien the Execute to show up, and on a separate trip in we grab John the Marowak. After an eternity, we eventually catch Dinah the Chansey. And after whatever's longer than an eternity, we pick up the monster strapped to my chest, Babs the Kangaskhan, as our 16th member. With so many new members, let's cross some moves off the list. Babs kicks us off with a Comet Punch, Bite, and newly gifted Surf from the Safari Zone. Dinah gets in a pound before being knocked out, as John the Marowak gets off a signature Bone Club before being blown away. Dinah gets a second chance and shows off a Double Slap and the Egg Bomb move we found on the floor of the Safari Zone. And John can finish off this wild battle with a Headbutt from Level Up and a Strength from the Toothless Pimp we gave the gold teeth to. We then use the Good Rod to hook a Goldeen named Mira, and in Koga's gym we can show off some of our leveled up team's new moves. Hal starts us off with his signature Spore, followed by a scummy double team that we found outside the Surf Hut. Our Goldfish shows us a Supersonic and a Horn Attack, and Damien the sentient carton of eggs gets to use Hypnosis and his signature Barrage. And our not forgotten Corey the Vulpix with amazing hair lets loose an Ember and a Roar. After a heal, Damien can show us his other moves finally, with Reflect and Leech Seed. It's been a while since we've seen Arthur and he's had a bit of a growth spurt, and has learnt the only Dragon type move in this game, Dragon Rage. The squad makes short work of Koga and Diana celebrates by using Toxic on a Poison type Pokemon. It still counts. Her faux pas is rectified once she uses her newly learnt Wing Attack shortly afterwards. On the hunt for a new member, our team batters their way through the fighting dojo. Hal slashing at the Machops, our recently evolved Mira washing the Mankeys away with a signature Waterfall, and Barry taking a load of acid then doing his signature Petal Dance on the Primeape's grave. Ollie slams, Zatanna recovers, and Kendra drills, and we get to our prize, Jean the Hitmonlee. That's Jean, not John. Jean gets to work with a double kick and a meditate while we make our way through Sylph, and soon after he gets the signature move Rolling Kick, one of many signatures this stretchy-legged Martian gets. We pick up the takedown TM, and Jean gets given that too, along with another signature kick, Jump Kick. Ollie goes boom, and we're over halfway with the move count now, just a few more to go. And at this point I remember Mira has a horn sticking out of her face, and we use the Horn Drill TM I've been carrying around since Celadon and attempt some one-shots. 5 attempts, 0 hits. Oh, Mira. A few floors above we grab the TM for Swords Dance, Hal learns it and does a little jig, then a few floors above that, Ollie gets the Earthquake TM. With Sylph saved, it's on to Sabrina's gym, where Kendra can show off her agility, Clark shows how thick his head is with a Skull Bash TM we found in the Safari Zone, and also his final signature move, Super Fang. Dinah reveals the worst moveset ever for handling ghosts, as she sings, minimizes, then defense curls, and then is forced to switch to someone who knows a non-normal move. Damien the Execute crosses another off the list with a Solar Beam, bringing us to 100 moves. How far we've come. Just 65 to go. Raven munches on the dreams of a fellow haunter, and after a battle with Sabrina, Raven's reward is the incredibly powerful psychic move Psywave. On the swim to Cinnabar, Corey displays her firepower with a flamethrower and a fire spin, and John chucks a bone around with his signature Bone Meringue, and then flails around with a Thrash. Then Babs comes out with her signature Dizzy Punch, a move I straight up forgot existed, and then we catch our 19th Pokemon, Wally the Tentacruel. Arthur hydro pumps in excitement as we catch our 20th member, Guy the Grimer. And after aimlessly wandering around the mansion, we find our 21st, Basil the Ditto. Another grind session, we're ready for Blaine's gym. Basil starts us off strong by using his signature Transform, and we finally have a Pokemon that's used all the moves they can use. 2 out of 2, oh yeah. Just like with Mirror Move and soon to use Metronome, I won't cheese the game with Transform, else I could use a lot of different moves without catching new Pokemon. So to resist, I switch Basil out now he's done his job, and he can relax in the PC for the rest of the run. Guy, the newly evolved Muck, adds 3 to the list with Sludge, Harden and Poison Gas, and Wally the Tentacruel adds 4 with Constrict, Wrap, Poison Sting and Barrier. Mira uses the Blizzard TM we picked up in Cinnabar Mansion, and Hal gets Growth via level up. After defeating Blaine, Guy gets his grubby hands on the Fire Blast TM. Giovanni time. Jean starts off with yet another signature kick. Yeah, Game Freak, we get it. He kicks. But this time high. We eventually defeat the mob boss and John with the hard J gets the Fissure TM. We get the Swift TM south of Lavender, and then grab the Super Rod as we have a few more fishy creatures to catch. We catch Ronnie the Krabby by the power plant, adding Bubble and Vice Grip to our list, and after a bit of leveling and an evolution we get the signature Crab Hammer, Stomp and Guillotine. Or is it Guillotine? We then catch Caitlin the Shalder on Cycling Road, who has Withdraw, and after yet more grinding, Aurora Beam, the signature Clamp and Ice Beam. Dinah the Chansey has learnt Light Screen and Double Edge, and Arthur the Gyarados has finally gotten Hyper Beam. We give the Pokédoll to the Copycat in Saffron in exchange for the Mimic TM. Mimic is a move that most Pokemon can learn, so we see a lot of Pokemon's counts go up here. Then it's a quick trip to the power plant to get the Thunder TM for Arthur, and to murder an endangered bird. We spend some more money at the game corner to buy the TM for Substitute, which we appropriately teach to Babs the Kangaskhan, as we watch her cower behind her own child while fighting an Abra. We exchange some drinks with the girl at the top of the mart and get the TM for Rock Slide, which Babs also learns. Just 2 moves left to go for our Kangaroo. Another trip to the mart. Jeez, this whole run feels like it's taken place there. And we buy the TMs for Mega Kick and Submission, finishing Babs' used move list. One more drink exchange with the kid on the roof for Tri Attack, which we give to Zatanna, and then a quick fly over to Cinnabar to get Metronome off one of the scientists. Dinah has one more move left, which yet again is in Celadon, this time from this randomer sat on the other side of the water. They give us Soft Boiled, a TM only learnable by Chanseys. How niche. We get Sky Attack and Explosion in Victory Road, which Diana and Damien use to get to 100% too, and then a quick backtrack to Lavender to grab the Payday TM off a little island, which for some reason in Gen 1 can be taught to Primeape. Guy the Muck learns his final move in Acid Armor, and then one hopefully final trip to Celadon for a Waterstone to evolve our level 50 Shalder into Cloyster, where she learns Spike Cannon. At this point, all 23 of our Pokemon have learnt everything they can learn, so we'll quickly demolish the league and then we have another stop to make. Deep in Cerulean Cave, we find Selena the Mewtwo. We only need 2 moves from Selena, which she learns via level up, and these are Amnesia and Mist. And there we have it, 150 moves to go with 150 Pokemon, and we did it using just 24 caught Pokemon. Oh wait, there's 165 moves. Well, turns out we have a few version exclusives to catch that aren't in yellow, so we're going to have to jump backwards and have a brief stint over in Pokemon Red. Here we go. We'll choose Bulbasaur and name her Ivy, and unlike with Pikachu, I'll actually be using this starter. In Viridian Forest we catch Lobo the Weedle, who immediately gets a move on the board with String Shot. At level 13, Ivy learns Vine Whip, and we use it to easily defeat Brock. In Cerulean, Lobo learns his signature move Twineedle. We then catch our 27th Pokemon, Talia the Ekans, and Bulbasaur uses her final move, Razor Leaf. Ivy gets traded to our yellow game in exchange for a Poliwhirl we caught off camera, which then gets immediately traded again for Lola the Jinx. So in terms of Pokemon owned, our count's only gone up by 1. Lola is here to do 2 things, use the signature move Lovely Kiss, and also ruin our naming convention. Talia grows into an Arbok and uses her final move, the signature Glare. A quick pop into the fighting dojo again, where Jinx uses her newly learned Ice Punch, and this time we grab the punching Pokemon Hitmonchan, who we named Tim. Erica's Grass Gym is no match for Tim's Fire Punch and Lobo's Pin Missile. We trade Talia to Yellow in exchange for Babs the Kangaskhan, just so we have someone who can use Surf, and then in Cinnabar we catch Ray the Coughing, bringing our total Pokemon to 30. Ray quickly uses the rest of his moves with Smog, Haze and Smokescreen, leaving just Tim to be the final Pokemon in Red that we'll be seeing, using his final move Thunder Punch. With that, we have 163 moves, just 2 left, and then the most painful to use in the entire generation. Whilst we've been having our side adventure in Red, our Yellow game has been running through the league over and over again.
But rest assured, this will be the 6th time we have destroyed it, and we have become exceedingly efficient at it.
This last run through has given us enough money to go back to that godforsaken Saladon one more time, exchange 200 grand for almost 10,000 coins, 50 coins at a time, and say hello to Victor the Porygon, our 31st and final Pokemon using his 2 signature moves, Sharpen and Conversion. And we've done it! 165 moves. So to answer the question, what's the least number of Pokemon needed to use every move in Generation 1? It's 31. But for those of you who won't take my word for it, I'll quickly go through where this result came from. I started by first of all finding out who I definitely had to have on the team to make this challenge possible, which of course were the Pokemon with signature moves. If I don't catch a Weedle, I can never use Twineedle, as the old rhyme goes. And as the Beedrill line learns more than just that one move, I can remove some of those moves from the pool. He also learns Pin Missile, which was the only thing unique about Jolteon, so now Jolteon isn't needed. I repeated this with all of the signature Pokemon, until we had a base set of 19 must-have Pokemon, who collectively knew 129 moves. That left us with 36 uncovered moves, and a whole lot of Pokemon to choose from. Looking first at Karate Chop, that could be learnt by Mankey or Machop, and so our decision tree begins. Next we have Fire Punch, which can be learnt either by Hitmonchan or Magmar. Then Thunder Punch, which can also be learnt by Hitmonchan or an Electabuzz. Then Gust, which can be learnt by the Pidgey line or the Caterpie line. And so on until we covered all of our 36 remaining moves. It was clear this wasn't a good task to do manually, so I wrote some Python code to automate this method and returned to me the shortest possible list. 31 was the result, and I was presented with 24 team combinations to consider. For example, switching the vine-whipping, razor-leafing Bulbasaur for a Bellsprout, or the drill-pecking Fearow for a Zapdos. I chose a team that were the easiest to catch. I didn't fancy resetting 100 times to try and nab a legendary bird. I'll wrap this up with one of my unspoken rules, that I was playing the vanilla games, so I had no legitimate way of getting a Mew, who's well known for being able to learn every TM. So just for fun, I'll let my code consider Mew as an option and see just how much that impacts the end result. Firstly, Transform is no longer a signature move, as Mew gets that by level up, and Chansey's signature Soft Boiled TM can now be learnt by Mew. So our signature group has gone down to 17, and our final result is still 31. What an anticlimax. All the addition of Mew did was give our code thousands more combinations to consider, and it eventually pumped out 88 different 31 Pokemon combos, 64 involving Mew and 24 not. Because as cool as it is that we have a Pokemon that can learn Sky Attack, Fly and Razor Wind, that doesn't change the fact that we still need to catch a Pidgey to use Gust, or a Mankey to use Karate Chop. And so in conclusion, if you want to try this yourself, don't bother looking under that truck for a Mew, a Ditto will do just as well. I hope you enjoyed this. It was something a bit different, but I really loved the challenge. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos in this series. I've already worked out the minimum number of Pokemon required for Generation 2, and spoiler alert, it's more than 31. Thanks for watching. See ya!